Time for our burden of proof segment, so we want to get right into some of the big legal cases we're following. Former Florida State Attorney for Palm Beach County and managing partner of Dave Aronberg Law, Dave Aronberg is with us now. Dave, good to see you. Want to start with the latest in the Tupac case. A judge is set to hear arguments to have the murder charges thrown out against Dwayne Davis, who is accused of being the so-called shot caller in the 1996 drive-by killing of the rapper. Davis has denied the allegations. What do you expect to come out of this?
Good to be back with you, Phil. Yes, I think the motion to dismiss will be denied. You don't get the benefit of trying to conceal your actions for the past 27 years and then tell the court the prosecutors waited too long. It doesn't work like that. There's a reason why there is no statute of limitations for murder. It's because we want to go after people once there's enough evidence to bring charges, no matter how long it takes, 27 years or not. If there's enough evidence and the defendant's own words will be used against him from his own memoir, then the prosecutors should be allowed to move forward.
All right, so let's turn to the King Road killings and murder suspect Bryan Kohberger's case. His attorneys want to partially lift what they are calling the veil of secrecy by petitioning that the court make public records detailing the DNA evidence and how it was used by detectives to build the case against their client. What do you think his legal team is trying to achieve here?
The linchpin for the prosecution's case is this DNA evidence. It was Kohberger's DNA that was allegedly found on the sheath of the knife at the murder home. It's devastating evidence, and it's what led investigators to then trace it back to Kohberger. They went through a genealogical database, like a 23andMe, and that's how they found a relative of Kohberger. So what the defense is saying is, we want to learn exactly how this mysterious new technology is done, and if we can find some flaw in it, that breaks the chain, then everything else could be thrown out. They want to go after the linchpin of the prosecution's case, but the prosecution is saying, we don't want you to know everything. We don't want you to find out who this relative is of Kohberger so you can harass him, so you can point the finger at that person. That person's innocent. So I think the judge is going to try to find a middle ground here.
All right, and Dave, before you go, I know you were on Capitol Hill during Trump's cabinet pick confirmation hearings this past week. Tell us more about what you were doing there.
I was there to speak for Pam Bondi, who is Trump's nominee for Attorney General. I'm a Democrat. She's a Republican. I ran against her in 2010 for Attorney General. She won. I didn't even get out of the primary, and then she hired me as her drug czar. So I went up and told about my own personal experiences, someone who worked for her. And it really is something when you could be an elected Republican and then reach across party lines to hire a Democrat for a very important job as drug czar, to take down the pill mills, to go after the opioid epidemic. So I was just talking about my personal experience because there's a lot of misinformation about how she's super partisan, and yet she's not. She is qualified. And for Democrats like me, I think she's as good as you're going to get up there. It's not like Sally Yates is walking through that door.
Yeah, and it seemed like not much questioning about her qualifications, just about her attachment to the president-elect. So it seems like she's on her way, it looks like, to confirmation. Dave, thank you so much for taking the time. Always good to talk to you and get your expertise. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.